Welcome back, my nature lovers. How we all doing today? For those of you joining me for another one of my videos, I want to say thank you. As well, for those of you who are new to my channel, this is Skelly by Nature, and I am Skelly. And today I have another pop-up video, spur of the moment video. And today's video, what we're going to be doing, we're going to be talking again about mushrooms. Here in New England, it is late, beginning of fall. Good time for a lot of mushrooms to come up. And we got a Teddy saying hi and a Mookie saying hi. And so yesterday morning, I happened to be outside with the dogs and we were goofing around in the yard, and I noticed some Shaggy ink caps starting to just come out of the ground. So I gave them another day, let them pop up, and here I have some right here. I got another whole entire batch going on, so I'm probably going to be picking these for the next couple days. So let's get into a little bit about Shaggy ink cap mushrooms. These are a mushroom that you will not find in a store, and I'll explain why a little later. And they're probably, out of all the mushrooms, they're probably one of my favorites, because they're not they're not heavy in flavor. So they do take to whatever seasoning you add to it. But to me, they're just a great mushroom to enjoy. Again, partly because these mushrooms here are a very timely mushroom. You need to pick them and you need to eat them. So if you do find like a big batch of them like I have going on, I just picked ones enough for me today, that I'm gonna make up and show you guys how to do what I do and how I enjoy these. So first, let's get into where do you find them? These ink caps are ones that you find in your lawn, on roadside places, wood chips, anywhere there's kind of decaying going on. Hey, enough. And any kind of waste areas like that. So that's where you usually find them typically. So how do you know you have ink caps, or Shaggy ink caps? So you have Shaggy ink caps, as well as you have another one that's very similar, which is just called your common ink cap. Now they do have differences. The difference that you can tell when you have Shaggies is, as you can see, they're a really clean white, with a little bit of, you can see kind of scales maybe on the mushroom cap itself. So when they first start coming up, they have a cone shape, like as you can see I get going on right here. This means we're in early stage. This is the best time to pick them. You don't want to pick them when they start to open up, and again, I'll explain why. But they're typically white, whereas the common ink caps usually have a tan color. They're either tan or brownish, and they're smooth on the cap. Like I said, these have, if you were to feel it, they have kind of a, kind of a texture to it. So these are what you call the Shaggy ink caps. So like I said, when they first start coming up, they come up in a cone shape like this. Eventually this will open up into a cap. And the reason why you want to pick these early is because once these start opening up into a cap, they actually start deteriorating really quick. They actually eat away at themselves, and create a black ink kind of, where they get their name from, called an ink cap. And that black ink will drip down on the ground or wherever. So you don't want to eat them when they're in that stage. We want to eat them when they're in this stage right here, nice and early. Like I said, the caps themselves are white with light colored scales all around them. Sometimes you see a little bit of color, like tannish to them. The gills, once it does open up underneath, are white. Then they turn to pink, and then they'll go to black. When they go to black, they're dead. They're gone. They're not worth picking or eating. So like I said, you want to grab them before they start opening, like as early as possible. And so you have the best time to pick these is when they're young. And like I said, when you do find a batch of these, you need to get them cooked up really quick, because once you cut them, they start deteriorating, and you got probably about 4 to 6 hours before they will start to deteriorate and lose its flavor. So as you can see, I've got this one here, and what we're gonna do is I've got these all picked and ready to go. So now I'm gonna show you how I clean these. Now these here typically, normally they're usually fairly clean. You'll see, that's where the dirt is. That's actually from where I pulled it from the underground. So as you can see, I've got, that's the stem right there. So the stem is white. So what I do to clean these is, I have a bowl of water here. I got my brush, my mushroom brush. I try to brush away as much as possible of this loose dirt. Whatever you can get out, try to get out with your brush. They come fairly clean. Don't go too crazy. You gotta actually handle these pretty gently because they are kind of a delicate mushroom. So we try not to, again, I'm gonna try to, use as little water because I'm gonna be sauteing these. So I don't wanna try to use too much water. So I'm just gonna keep brushing them, get what dirt off I can. And I'm not too worried about the stem because I'm gonna eventually cut this here. So I have my towel, I have my little bowl of water, and again, like I said, I'm just gonna try to clean these best as possible. So there, I got a nice clean mushroom. Like I said, I'm going to be cutting the stem off. That's my next step. So I got another bowl that I'm going to keep off to the side. So what I'm going to do now, okay, so my next step, I'm going to take, so I like to get a nice utility knife. It's a nice thin blade. If you use a blade too thick, again, like I said, they're a delicate mushroom. As you can see, it's already kind of breaking open a little bit as I'm playing with it and been cleaning it. So what I like to do is I just cut off the end where the dirt is getting heavy. And so now I've got my nice, clean, beautiful looking Shaggy ink mushroom. Now what I like to do is, again, I'm going to be cutting these just in half, and so which is another reason why I like to have I put a nice fresh blade on this so it's nice and sharp. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my mushroom and I'm going to cut this right in half. Now that is what it should look like in the inside when you cut it open. You can see the actual stem is actually hollow. There is a little hollow indent in there. So now that I have them like this, I'm just going to place these in the bowl. Now again, you want to be careful with these um, because they will fall apart quickly. And but at the same time, you need to work quick because they do start to deteriorate. So the next step that I'm going to be doing it inside. So let me finish up doing these, and I'll see you guys inside. Okay, so we're back in the kitchen again, and as you can see, I got a pan going on medium heat, and I also got I have some flour here. I have some eggs, and I have my breading. In my breading, I have mixed in thyme, basil, oregano, and some garlic powder. So that's what I've got in my breading. What we're gonna do is we're gonna heat this stick of butter, melt it right down. And then over here I got my mushrooms. Now what I did is like I showed you, I cut my mushrooms in half. We're just going to be looking to do a light breading. Okay, so the butter's melted down, and now we're going to start to bread our mushrooms, and we're going to throw them in the saute pan. So again, like I said before, these are very delicate, so we're not looking to do a whole lot of, we don't need to coat them really, really good. I'm just looking for an easy coat. So we're just going to throw them in a little bit. Try not to play with them too much. Throw them into the egg. Get them coated up a little bit. Try not, again, we're not playing with them a whole lot. Be careful of the caps coming off. And then we're just going to give them a nice little coat. And then what we're going to do is we're going to throw them flat side down in the pan so that the middle is facing down and the cap piece is facing up. So we're just going to give them a little roll, a little egg. And when you handle these, try to handle them by the tops, because if not, your cap will break off from your stem. So we're just, like I said, we're just getting a little breading coat on them. We're gonna stick them in the pan. And we're just gonna keep going until these are done. And when we do this, we're not looking to cook them too long. It's only going to be a couple minutes on each side. That's all you really need. Okay, so here we got them. We have a full plate with some nice beautifully breaded Shaggy ink cap mushrooms. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned a little bit of something today. I hope you guys go out and get yourself some ink caps. And good luck in the foraging this year. It's been a rough one up in the Northeast here. And do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, and please share this with anyone else you think might be interested in. Get this out. It's a beautiful recipe. They're beautiful mushrooms, and I hope you guys enjoy them. And until the next video, be beautiful, be awesome.